This is Chris. I hope everything is going good. Listen, back with another commentary video. This is Sessions with Nola. I do have my cards here in case we want to pull a few cards. But today we're going to talk about Trump and the federal aid freeze that he attempted to do or he's attempting to do. All right. But before I even get started, don't forget to like this video, please. This is, again, my second channel. I've been having it for a while. But this channel is a channel that I'm going to be building up. And this is going to be considered my commentary channel, my opinion channel. My views. We'll read articles. I'll give you my opinion. Because a lot of people, even without the cards, they want to know what I think, what I feel about certain topics, right? So we're going to do Donald Trump, the White House, and the federal freeze that was allegedly rescinded, which really threw everyone in literally the nation was in, the country was in chaos, right? Over this freeze. It's you got to remember there are hundreds upon hundreds of programs that are tied to the federal government. And people were just freaking out. Not only you're affecting the people that are receiving the benefits, you're affecting the folks that actually work in these programs. And I have a lot of clients that work for the federal government. And so this was something that is scary. Now, one of my clients, she just told me the other day that they were anticipating this, right? This Trump thing that he just did. So a lot of leadership people, senior management people, they've been jumping ship months ago, right? They've already been making adjustments because they say with every president, there's always some type of adjustment that needs to be made. So she was telling me, what's up, Monica? She was telling me yesterday that that a lot of people already felt that this was coming, and people are already jumping ship. All right. A lot of people are gonna just ride it out until they even either decide what they want to do. But people have already been preparing for Donald Trump to do this right now. With all of that being said, again, don't forget to share your opinion about this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you agree what he did, if you disagree what he did. Don't be scared to put your opinion. Please don't beat people up about their opinions in the chat. This is, again, a commentary channel, an opinion channel, people where they can share their views, right? And I'm going to share my views as well on this channel. So just, even if you disagree, keep it respectful because we're all grown, right? We're all grown. So keep it respectful. So also, don't forget that there are other videos that I put on here. I think it was day before yesterday. We have a video on Trump where we talk about the celebrities who participated in his inauguration events, how they have essentially been getting canceled. Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Soulja Boy, Rick Ross are to name a few. They are receiving, I don't know if I want to say canceled, but major backlash, right? And so I gave my opinion and talked about that. We also have a video on Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown spoke about the DEI programs that would affect that affected Target, Walmart, and so many other people. But she was talking about it, and we did a video on our views and opinions on the DEI program. And then I learned something after I did this video, after I did the DEI program, that Black people are literally the last to receive any real benefits from the DEI program. The first people that are benefit from the DEI program are white women, white men, Asians, LGBTQ plus, people with disabilities. We're literally 6 or 7. We're like Black people of us. We are literally number 7 on the list of people who actually benefit from DEI programs. So the top people, and then you can Google this. I actually watched a lady who talked about this. The people, the top group of people that actually benefit from the DEI programs are white women. So we're over here fussing, and we're like literally number 7 on the totem pole for being benefiting from this program. So something I learned the other day. So make sure you check out that video on Tabitha Brown, and then we have a video on Royce Reed and her baby daddy, Dwight Howard. That video is basically talking about how she exposed him for predatory behavior. She exposed him for sleeping with men. My feelings on it, why she did it, etc., etc. Check it out. And there's so many people that really deal with bisexual men. They have a lot of men out there that have dealt with being in molested situations. And then it's really, you got to think about like what we as women think about, all the stuff we go through, but men actually, like Dwight Howard, we found out allegedly that his brother had been molesting him and his sister. So, and then you wonder, like, why is this person allowing his son to be exposed to this behavior when he was also exposed to this behavior when he was little. So check those 3 videos out. So again, thank you for coming through. So let's talk about Trump and the federal freeze. All right. I'm going to say this with all due respect. I am not going to be doing a video on Trump every 5 minutes, whether it's on this channel, which is Sessions with Nola, or Blue Nola Tarot, which is my tarot channel. I'm just not doing it. Let me tell you why. A lot of people, if you voted to keep this man out of office, to stop him from doing what he's doing, then, and if you voted to keep him, you made a decision. Some people didn't vote at all. So let me say it like this. If you voted for Trump to be in office, this is what you voted for. And if you didn't vote at all, this is what you didn't. This is what you this is what the outcome is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be just completely outraged every time he makes a decision. Project 2025 has been out there for months. I remember Hollywood Unlocked tried to share it with you. I remember Kamala talking about it. I remember so many people talking about Project 2025. And Trump had convinced you that this was not a real thing, and now it's coming to fruition. So at some point, what are we supposed to do? In my opinion, if you voted for Trump and you're going to be affected by anything he does with this Project 2025, you voted for him to do this. Maybe you agree with Project 2025. Maybe you agree with some aspects of it. Maybe you won't agree with some aspects of it. But this has been out here a long time. Everything that he's doing is listed in Project 2025. Right? Everything that he's doing. So I think I have a video I'm going to play, a little audio that I'm going to play to help you out. But I think we need to go back and do our homework about Project 2025. And then you won't be outraged or shocked or bamboozled about Project 2025 or what's to come. This is supposed to all take place in the first 180 days of him taking office. Right? This is why he's moving at the speed. This is a well thought out, executed plan. I think the Project 2025 is 900 pages long, guys. So we're so busy worried about Kamala being Indian or black. We're so worried about the fact that she locked up men for weed in California when she was a judge, right? California, it was illegal at the time when she did it. We're so worried about these things that we didn't even see. Not me, because I was watching it. People wasn't paying enough attention, obviously. So I'm going to play you something, and then I'm going to give you my opinion again on Donald Trump and Project 2025 and all of this stuff that's going on right now. And again, it's not to beat anybody up, but if you voted for Donald Trump, this is what you voted for. If you didn't vote at all, you didn't create a space to have a vote in this. So if it affects you in any way, whether you're, your grants, your loans, your Medicaid, your mom and dad, older people who, even though they had medical insurance, do you realize that some people, even that had medical insurance when they were working people, they still use some form of Medicare or Medicare because, and I don't know if Project 2025 tackles Medicare, but do you understand that they still use some government resources? Because, for example, there are times that your insurance that your employer gave you may not cover all of your health costs. So sometimes elderly people still pick up the Medicare to supplement their insurances so they don't have to pay huge fees. Do you know a lot of elderly people get to a certain age and they still apply for food stamp to supplement their income for their food? Do you know that? Do you know that there are people out here who were married and their husbands just threw them out and tossed them out? Maybe you said that's their problem. They married them. And now they have to try to scramble to get benefits for their insurance for their kids, child care, this is the real world we're working in. Think about somebody in your family that went through a tough time. I'm not talking about the mooches of the world that's waiting on the government to just pay their whole way. I'm talking about people. Think about, people who their mom, has been working 3 jobs and still trying to make ends meet, and they're trying to go to college, and this is a way for them to go to college, to become nurses, and to get out there to help us. So anyway, I'm gonna play you a little snippet about Project 2025. This lady's I follow her on my backup channel, and I think she did a great job of breaking this down, and I'm gonna play it for you here because I think you need to hear it. And again, this has been going on. This whole thing about Project 2025 has been going on for several months. Again, we just weren't paying enough attention to it. Her name is Jess Craven, Jess Craven, Craven 101. She's on Instagram. I'm gonna play this for you. Please take time to really listen to this. She's going to explain to you about Project 2025 in a quick snapshot. It's important that you hear this because instead of you having to go through 900 pages or go read something, she's breaking it down for you. All right, and we're going to come back and talk about it. I'm going to be here, but still, I'm going to go ahead and share her video.
We were talking about how to win the election in November, and I said, well, one thing we need to do is more messaging. For example, did you know that only 1 in 4 Americans have ever heard of Project 2025? 1 in 4. I said, do you know what Project 2025 is? It's the plan that Republicans have in place that they're going to execute in the first 180 days if Trump is elected. And they were like, yeah, kind of, but can you give us some talking points? And I was like, okay, sure. So here they are in case they help you. And caveat, of course, before I start, Project 2025 is a very long document. And so to give a 2-minute little spiel on it is hard, but I'm going to try. If you're talking to a friend on the street corner and you just want to give them the highlights, try this. So you can start by saying something like, did you know that there is a large group of billionaire right-wing Christian nationalists who has put together a blueprint for the next Republican president, which will assumedly be Trump? It's called Project 2025. It's 920 pages long, and it is a thorough plan for how they're going to change the country fundamentally to a place that is unrecognizable to almost all of us. Project 2025 is basically a plan for systematically taking apart the federal government, which means that all of the things we rely upon in the federal government, Social Security, Medicare, veterans benefits, the EPA, workers' protections, all those things, dismantled. Project 2025 has a very clear plan to extend the powers of the executive branch and give the president the powers of basically an autocrat. The president would then use those powers to issue executive orders that would basically reverse a lot of our civil rights. Contains a plan to redirect the military to support domestic law enforcement, and that includes using the Insurrection Act to stop protests on U.S. soil that the administration doesn't agree with. It will remove pretty much all government protections from LGBTQIA people and criminalize many of them. It will reverse racial equality, attack diversity, and reverse all environmental gains. It will replace secular education with a Christian theocracy, and there is a specific plan to get rid of the Department of Education completely. It's going to use something called Schedule F to remove 50,000 civil servants on day one, and they will recruit and train 20,000 conservatives to fill those jobs. Those conservatives, by the way, will be required to take a sort of loyalty pledge where they say that the election in 2020 was stolen. Otherwise, they will not be hired. Historically, our defense policy has been one of defense. They want to change that to offense. Require U.S. foreign policy and U.S. aid to align with a pro-life agenda, and use a very old law that is already on the books called the Comstock Act to ban all abortion and likely most birth control on day one. And if someone challenges you and says, oh, this can't possibly be true, the great news is this is all online and they can go read it themselves. That's how unashamed these people are of this plan. They're not even hiding it. So encourage your friend to do their own research.
So did you hear that? So the goal is to get rid of the government, the government workers, for the people that are worried about this, and to replace you. This is the goal, to replace you with the people that are going to do what they say and be under their agenda. This has been out. This lady talked about this. Let me tell you how many weeks ago. She talked about this 33 weeks ago. Even the Hollywood Unlocked posted the same lady. That's how I found her. And I started following her on my second page. I don't like to follow too many people on Blue Nola. But that's how I found this lady, Jess Craven. And I've been following her ever since. She even talked about how her mom was a retired lady. Her mom fell. And how the insurance that her mom had wasn't going to cover all of her expenses because she already had health issues and she fell at home, and how they were looking to try to see if they could, use Medicare to supplement. If Trump takes that away from a lot of elderly people, guys, think about this for a second. They won't have that extra protection for insurance, right? But this has been something that's Project 2025. This has been out for months. And you can Google it, just like this lady said. She said you can Google it. It's right there. This is, they plan to dismantle the Department of Education. They plan to dismantle the government. Will they be successful in doing so completely? I believe that they'll have roadblocks along the way. I believe they may be able to tackle some aspects of it, and but not completely. That's what I believe, right? And just intuitively. But this is, so I'm not going to sit here and every time that Trump does something, I'm going to be just falling to the ground crying, or so outraged, or even selectively outraged, because I knew about Project 2025. This has been floating around for months, for weeks. And people chose to still vote for Trump because he's funny, he's crazy, he and now he may affect you in some way, whether it's you directly or indirectly, whether it's your family member, whether it's an elderly person, whether it's a younger person, whether it will affect you in some way. What about all the teachers, right? Like, they plan to get rid of a lot of the did you not just hear what she said? The Department of, listen. So I encourage you, just like Jess Craven said, to do your research, so that when you hear things coming up in the news and you hear him talking about things, that you're not blindsided to this, right? You're not blindsided. There was a 24-hour period of chaos because they pulled the plug on the federal, they did a freeze on the federal grants. And he tried to say, and they're saying that even though they put a memo out saying that that they rescinded it, that they're trying to still go forward with it. Give me the energy. Will Donald Trump and his team continue to try to go forward with the freeze on the federal grants, the federal government, sorry. Will they continue? And I'm going to just pull a couple of cards so you'll know. This Ace of Swords is here, right? This Nine of Cups, along with the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, 100%. So this Ace of Swords represents, they plan on taking action. Now, the thing is that they better expect a fight. And they better expect to get blockages along the way, just like I just said before. This is representing, you will be messing with some things that will be a big mistake. And it will create a lot of instability. And they will face a lot of backlash. But this also says they may have a few things that may go through. Now, remember, it's 920 pages long. We'd have to sit down and break that whole thing out to see what will be affected. So just know they will try, but they will experience a lot of backlash and a lot of roadblocks along the way. It's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy for them to take it down, but they will try to modify it in some way and shrink it down. I suggest, if you work for the federal government too, to report to work on February 6th, right? Don't be defiant and say you're going to still sit home. You don't care what they say, because it shows in the message, action will be taken. This is Chris Blue Nola. This is on my opinion about it. I'm not going to be outraged about everything Trump does when this has been sitting in the palm of our hands, all on the news, circulating on TikTok, on Instagram, information era. And we're now going to be upset and outraged by every little thing that he does. Again, the lady on TikTok, on Instagram, her name is Jess Craven. You can go follow her. She is very informative. And I feel like we should follow people that know what's going on. She was talking about this 33 weeks ago. That's how I went to it, the whole thing. He is going to try to dismantle the federal government. He is going to try to dismantle the Department of Education. And whether it affects you, it doesn't affect you today, it can affect you tomorrow. It can affect your kids. It can affect the elderly. It can affect your future. Because it's so, FEMA, you know how helpful and instrumental FEMA was to us when Hurricane Katrina happened? Are you kidding me? It helped us rebuild. It's not until you lose your house through a fire or a hurricane that you understand how important some of the aspects of the federal government is. Even if you didn't get grant money for the hurricane, you were able to get a loan to rebuild your house. You were able to go back home and live in the area, the land that you lived. My parents' home was destroyed. They were able to get a loan, an SBA loan through the government. Now, from what I heard, he's not trying to go after the people that give loans. He's trying to go after the people that give grants. But the point that I'm making is that FEMA helped us whether you were getting a loan or a grant. It helped me rebuild, guys. Anyway, this is Chris Blue Nola. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. And again, be respectful. You have your right to your opinion, but be respectful. I see people, in the comment section talking about drain the swamp. Then I got people in the comment section saying is it too early to impeach him? Do your homework. This has already been 920 pages of what they're going to do. I suggest you go do your homework on Project 2025 and gear up to be in for the shock, the fight, the stress of your life. Take care, stay blessed, encourage, and empower. You can always book with me at BlueNolaTarot.com. Even though this is a commentary channel, I'm still here to do readings for you. Take care. Bye-bye.